Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I don't have a card video for you today. I am actually preparing to leave soon, so by the time you guys watch this video, I will be coming home. But I have been wanting to play, and I've got a mess here and I'll deal with that later, but I have been wanting to play with journals, and I have some old books, so I'm just going to show you. This is our Animal Friends book. It's a Rand McNally book. And what I'm doing is I've already taken some of these books apart and I'm trying to create a spine in here so I can do a journal. These are some of the pages. This specific book, these pages are super brittle, so I can't put them in there. I like to, in these books, I like to try to keep the story intact and then build around it for the journal, but for this one I'm not going to be able to. The pages are too brittle. I also have this one here. These are ones I've taken apart. This is the little schoolhouse. So these pages are not too brittle. I think they're okay. So I'm going to actually leave this story intact and incorporate it into the journal. And then I also have this one, my poetry book. These pages also are still in pretty good shape, so I could incorporate these pages in the journal as well. So what I'm doing right now, just to kind of play and relax, is I am preparing each journal. So I had already taken this apart. The spines were in pretty rough shape. And what I did is I have old wallpaper. I had a wallpaper book that a friend gave me, and it had some of these pieces. I think it was sample for backing. So I just cut these down to be able to put in here to give some support to my spine. I'm probably also going to use wallpaper, fabric, whatever, to get this and just make this really nice and strong. Now this book had pieces ripped here, also right up here. So what I did is this is a piece of wallpaper here, and I took some Stampin' Up! Paper that I had, and I just kind of cut it to cover that, kind of give it like a patchwork look. And then what I need to do this morning, I attached these pieces. So what I need to do now is I need to attach my spine, and I need to leave enough room so that it can open nicely. So that's what that's what I'm working on now, is I'm just building the book, the binding for the book, so I can start putting these journals together. And I don't know if I'm going to use any digitals. I don't think so, but I'll probably have some journals. I'll have some journals for sure that I will use digitals for, because I have a monthly subscription to Pink Monarch Prints, and I haven't played with theirs for a minute, so I'd like to play with some of the new digitals. So I'm just putting some 3-in-1 tacky glue. Now I know that there are a lot of people subscribed to my channel for the cards, but I also have some that have subscribed before in the past when I was doing journals. So, but a lot of techniques you learn with card making you can use in journals too. I'm just putting that there just to kind of give me a spacer, so I can kind of guesstimate, make sure I have the right amount of space here, make sure this is all lined up, that sits nice. And then I'm just going to take this scraper. I actually got this at the dollar store when I was in Oregon last. So and this is really great for helping to spread this glue. It's nice and hard. Okay, so we've got that part on. Now I need to make sure that this is facing the right direction and put this part on. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on here. Yeah, so I thought I'd just bring you along and in my process here on making these journals. I probably won't do the whole process on video, because I do card videos too, but I kind of wanted to get back to doing these journals too. Now, to be fair, I have made a lot of journals, and I have quite a stash going. And they're available on my Etsy shop, which is on vacation right now. So when you see this video, it'll probably be going off vacation very soon from the time that you watch this video. But okay, so I've got that on. I feel like that's on pretty good. I still kept my spacing there, so that's nice. And I think I want to put another piece right here to kind of, maybe some of this, because I'm going to do the fabric over this once I decide what size fabric. So this might be really good here just to give it a little bit more support. It's very interesting. That's ceiling paper. Oh, that rips pretty easy. I don't really want to put wallpaper over this because I'm going to cover it. So sometimes I do a wallpaper spine. It just depends on what, let's see what scraps I got. It just depends on what I'm, how I'm building my journal. Just some brown paper might be good. Yeah, there we go. Get this the right size. So I think I want to cut this at, I want it to go there. So 1, 2, 3 1/4 inches wide. That'll be good right there. And then I need to cut off a little more than 1/4 inch. So let's see what that does. A little bit more. I have a bunch of books that I've been collecting that I've been wanting to make the journals out of. So some of them are kid books like this, and some are not. Some are just like old Reader's Digest books. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get this glue on here. So I can get this nice and stuck. Then I'm going to set this aside and let it dry while I work on the other two and getting their spines on. And then if there's time on video, I'll select the fabric that I'm going to put on the inside and the outside of it. Now the cover is kind of rough shape, but I kind of like that, you know. I don't really want to hide. I think that's kind of the fun part of this. Okay. Just want to make sure this is fairly even on both sides. And it looks like it is. There we go. Now I'm just going to spread this glue out. I love that little puppy on the cover. It's so cute. Okay. There's that. That's pretty good, I think. So I'm going to let that glue dry on there. I'm going to set that aside. Put my pages with it. There's that. Now we can do this book. This is just scrap. This is from actually the Paper Pumpkin little cardboards that come in. I just cut the spines out of those. Okay, so now we want to do kind of the same thing here. Make sure that'll fit. Yep. So I need to cut some more strips. I don't think this is long enough anymore. Nope, I have a couple of these. This will work for that book, this book, so I'll use this. And I like to make my own journal covers too, but it's also fun just to repurpose books. That should be good there, and then we're going to do this one here. I'm going to have to trim this here up a little bit. That looks like that's okay. Let's look at this one. This one needs to be trimmed. Okay. So now I need to attach the spine here. Make sure I have enough room here for that to fold. That's good, and go ahead and get that smushed down. And you can choose really what size spine. Two of these I think are 2-inch and the other one's bigger. Just use the leftover piece. Okay, so this needs to go on like that. Sometimes I use digitals and sometimes I don't. It just depends on my mood. If I want something a little bit more simple, or I have an idea from a digital I have, then I'll work with a digital, but it's fun either way. Sometimes a digital can be relaxing because it's got all your pockets and ephemera, and all you have to do is cut them out and sometimes back them. Okay, there's that. Now I need another, look at my scrap pile here. That's not very wide, so I want something a little wider. There we go. So I need to cut this, probably the same thing, 3 1/4. Okay, and then I know I need to shave it off a little. Let's see how this fits. A little more. A little more still, just a smidge. That should be good. My desk is a mess. I've been prepping for the trip. I had some cards to make for the trip and a journal for my mom. This glue is very, very strong for this type of application. It works really great with fabric. And then do a little bit here. You can really use any old book that needs a new purpose because it's worn out. Hopefully this sticks well. This has some really old tape on here. I'm thinking it will be fine. Now for the next one, I am out of that one type of sample backing or whatever it was for the journal for wallpaper, and that felt pretty sturdy to me. So I'm gonna need to find something else to do with this one. I love the colors in this. Okay, so I had those one strips. Here we go. I could probably use these tall strips. I have a couple of them. Are these the same width? Not quite. None of these are, but that's okay. So I could put that, I can just trim it down a little bit because I really just wanted like 1-inch strips. Okay, let's see how short I need to make this. Oh, there's my pencil. Okay, so we're going to cut that right there. I think I do want to have these at 1 inch. What are they? Well, 1.5 is fine. Just give a little bit more. I'm going to bring this one down to 1.5. Okay. There we go. Now I can go ahead and work on attaching these. right, and this one. Now we'll go ahead and attach the spine. Looks pretty straight. Okay, so now make sure this is facing the right way. Sorry about that. Let's make sure this is sitting straight. I feel like it might be a little wonky. Looks good. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and get that on there. And then we need to get our piece for here. Let's see, we have another one. I do. In my scrap pile. So I need it to be cut right about here. So we'll make that cut really quick. I think I want the same thing. I think I want 3 1/4 here. Yeah, 3 1/4 wide. And then after this, all I have to do is figure out what fabric I want to use on these. Okay. Alright, so we are going to let this dry. And by the time, I'm going to go find some fabric really quick in my stash. I'll figure out what I want to use for this. Wow, these are drying. And put them back in this order so I can, because this is probably dry by now. It dries fast, that's the other cool thing. So we'll work on bending these once I get my fabric. Let's see. See what colors I have here. So I have greens. I have this scrap bin here of fabric right here, and I have some fabric in my closet that has from projects I've made that are left over. I want to use that. This would be a good one to grab onto. Here's a nice piece. That's kind of fun. That's a good choice. This green would be a good choice too if I like it with either of the covers. Oh, we have a piece of I wonder if that's tall enough. That would be kind of fun too. This is a thicker fabric. I like that because of the thickness. Here's another one, a scrap. This is a scrap upholstery fabric. And that would be big enough as well. Some more of this. That's not big enough. Oh, there is that. I don't think. Nope. Okay, so I think I'm just going to go from those options. So on this here, this would probably need to be like 3.5 to cover that. And that's kind of fun right there. It's a neutral color. Let's see about these. This one is way more orange. Actually, I think I would like this one for that. I might be able to get some other spine, and then this one is green, is a bright green. Okay. Let's see. We're going to do this one first, and this one I think I'm gonna do, let me see this again. That would be fine too. So I'm gonna attempt to see if I can rip this. So that, I need that to be about there. That ends right there, so I need to cut it right about there. Can cut, just need to get a deep enough cut into it. Let's make sure that will fit on there. And then is this the same width? just about. I can use this on the inside, I think. Let me see if this will fit on the inside. It'll just fit on the inside, so that'll work. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I think, I'm gonna wrap this. And then glue that down. That's what I think I want to do, is I want to wrap this and then lay this on it. Okay. So we're going to do the front first. And this glue is almost done, so I have another one, but use this up. It lasts a long time when you're making journals and you're because I only use it for stuff like this, or for fabric. Paper, I use art glitter glue or Bearly Art glue. Because I live in Alaska, I can't get art glitter glue all year, so I have to use Bearly Art glue. That's the only stuff I can order, so sometimes I'm out of it and I have to wait till it warms up. Which I need to order some here pretty soon because we're going to start getting cold and it won't ship. So I'm going to put that on. Let's get this. Going to smooth this on right there in the spine. Then I'm going to go ahead and lift this up here and get where I missed. Do the same on this side. Oops, I extended that out just a little bit too far. Okay. So now I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to, didn't leave enough right here, I don't think. No, I should be able to get that down. You might have to clip it. Okay. And now this side. These covers have been sitting up in my shelf for a couple of months, and I thought, man, I want to really get to these and work on them. This glue's kind of silicone-y, so if you get it on your hands, it'll come off when it dries. You just rub your fingers together and it'll come off. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now we just have to measure this to be able to put this on the inside here. How much I need to clip off here. There we go. Okay, this should fit nicely in here. Yep. So I'm going to start down here on the bottom. I need to get some paper, something to get this stuff off of my glue. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead, because this glue is really thick right now because it's down to the end, so I'm just going to do a little bit at a time and get it attached. Oh, look at how that line lined up. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so now I'm just gonna start adding down here a little bit at a time and then lay it down, get it attached, and then do a little bit at a time, just because this glue is so thick and it is kind of drying kind of quick while I'm laying it down. But I want to use it all up before I get the other bottle. Now you can gum up stuff when you're gonna, because I still have to make the template for this and poke the holes for the signatures. I have to decide how many signatures I'm going to have in here, and so, but if you let it, one thing I've found is if you let it dry, the glue dry, it's not so much of a problem with the holes and getting the needle through and stuff. But if you don't wait, oftentimes I don't, but if you don't wait and you try to get it through while it's still wet, then yeah, it's going to gum up the tool you use to poke the holes and the needle, and it's going to make it just a little bit more difficult. It still can be done, but it is a little bit more difficult. Okay, so we've got that spine covered. I might need to come back in here and add more glue. I can do that later. Let that get in there really good and dry. That spine is covered and I like that. Okay, so I'm going to let that one dry and we're going to go to the next one. This is that. And I think we're going to do, let's see, we have the orange and we have the bright green. Now I could do, I think I'm going to do this green fabric here, and then on this one, this houndstooth. Yep. So, figure out where I want this. I don't want it too far over, but far enough over to cover up that paper. Okay. Seeing how much time we have. Oh, we're getting close. That's I'll stop this video here soon, and then I'll just continue and I'll finish these up, and when I feel like popping on again for some more of these journals, which I'm sure I will. Maybe after the selections of the pages that I want to put in. That first one with the farm animals, that one is, oops, I didn't want to do it that way. I want to leave a little bit over so I can wrap probably a little bit more than that. That one I'm actually going to take those pages that are too brittle. I'm going to cut the pictures out and turn them into some ephemera. Just back the brittle pages so that they have some strength. Okay, there is that. Now I just need to wrap this around because I'm pretty sure the same thing is here. Yeah. This is a little bit wider, but that's okay because this covers that center, and that's what I want it to do. Right there. That'll be nice. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here. I'm going to finish the covers and then go to the next step. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.